All right, Kwab, let's do this.
What are we doing?
This feels like a funeral to me.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Don't
Guess who I'm picking?
guess who guess who I'm choosing? Welcome to the preview.
Welcome to this series preview of the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics second round series. Kwab and I are going to give you our analysis, our breakdown, and also our series winner. Kwab, you ready? You want to do this?
Let's do it.
All right. Finish the sentence. The New York Knicks win this series if blank.
New York Knicks win this series if they make sure to go out and do layup lines after every quarter. not at halftime, every quarter. Just so they have a sense of continuity throughout every quarter. The problem with the Knicks has always been their inconsistent play, offensively and defensively, and it showed in the first series against Detroit, where there's game one where they had like a crazy fourth quarter, just amazing fourth quarter, but then there'll be quarters where they just look like a less than 500 team because of their inconsistent play on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
They became notorious for their third quarter play throughout that series, and they reverted back to doing layup lines, and it ended up working well for them.
CYO stuff, man. Basic
CYO stuff. I mean, I know it's like haha jokes, but I think that if their level of continuity and consistency on both sides of the ball is where it needs to be, they will have a chance because they have good players at every position. This team was essentially put together to beat the Celtics if you really look at the roster.
Which is like insane because they don't match up with them at all.
At all.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Point,
at all.
continue.
We both at all. But you look at the roster with the wings and bring it in Cat with Mitchell Robinson return. It's like you look at you kind of have a team that could match up with a team that just won the championship in the Celtics. So the only way I see them having a chance is if they come out and they all play consistent with continuity, move the ball, finish their layups, be aggressive, play team ball, go New York, go, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. So to you, the Knicks win this series if...
All right, so here's a list. They win the series if they're able to figure out a way how to stop the pick and roll or pick and pop with Kristaps Porzingis.
Check.
They win this series if Jayson Tatum's not hitting his threes off the drop.
Check.
They win this series if they move the basketball all series and everybody eats, not just Jalen Brunson.
Check.
They win this series if Karl-Anthony Towns has a big game.
Check.
They win this series if Deuce McBride gives them any type of production off of the bench.
Okay, check.
They win this series if Mitchell Robinson has a defensive impact and plays 15 to 20 minutes because they're going to need him.
Mm-hmm. Check. Okay.
I mean, there's so many other things, too. I mean, at the end of the day, the main thing, though, is the first thing that I said, is the Knicks are going to have to figure out a way how to guard the pick and roll, pick and pop, specifically with KP, and when Karl-Anthony Towns gets put in those positions, and when Jalen Brunson gets put in those positions, too. Now, Tibbs doesn't like to switch. You know, they like to peel and recover. They like to drop. And the Celtics just kill them every single time. The Knicks just don't have any answers. You were right. They did get OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges for this team specifically, right? Oh, they have Tatum, they have Jaylen Brown. We'll just stick our wings on them. Yeah, well, that works until they put someone into a pick and roll. Now your wings no longer on them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I understand it, too, because if you're playing drop, well, OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges are expected to stay attached, and they're really good at that. So that does mean something. But when the person dropping is Karl-Anthony Towns, when the person who has to switch on the pop is Karl-Anthony Towns, it doesn't matter. So Karl-Anthony Towns is going to have the best defensive series of his life in order for the Knicks to advance. And honestly, so is Jalen Brunson, because the Celtics like to run an offense where they just pick on the weakest link on the defense. Yep. They're not going to be able to hide Jalen Brunson. You're not going to be able to hide Karl-Anthony Towns. They're going to have to show up, and they're going to have to really just get down and dirty on the defensive end and play with maximum effort and pay attention to detail. Because if the Celtics get any type of rotation going with the Knicks defense, it's over. It's over. I mean, the Knicks haven't beat them this year for a reason. So, I mean, a lot has to happen. So much has to happen. But, Kwab, your Knicks X-Factor, who is it?
My X-Factor would be Jalen Brunson. Just because I don't think, like you said, I don't know where they're going to be able to hide him. He's going to be facing the Celtics trying to mismatch hunt him the whole game. And who do you hide him on? Who do you put him on? Like, Drew Holiday's going to try to post him up. Derek White's going to go at him. Everybody's going to try to go at him. So he's going to have to guard on top of being Mr. Clutch. So I think that's going to be a big reason why he's going to be the X factor for the whole series. So that's why he's my X factor. Who do you have as the X factor for the Knicks?
Mikal Bridges. The Knicks can get Mikal Bridges that they thought they were getting this whole season. Okay. A defensive stopper. One of the best perimeter defenders in the league. A 3-point specialist. Someone who can score off the dribble consistently. I think this turns the series into a competitive series. Okay. Because, let's face it, this whole season, the Knicks really haven't got that consistently from Mikal Bridges. And when he's on, they're good. I mean, Mikal saved them in Game 6 against the Pistons. Facts. They're a much better team when Mikal Bridges is on and when he's involved in the offense, when he's scoring, when he's shooting threes. To me, that changes everything. Going into this series, I am thinking of a New York Knicks team that doesn't have that version of Mikal Bridges. Now, if they do, maybe, you get hot from three, the Celtics go cold. Who knows? I don't know. But they can't win this series without an effort from Mikal Bridges consistently. They just can't. They don't have enough to math the math with the Celtics. They just don't, because the Celtics are going to shoot 575 threes a game. They need someone to help them keep pace with the Celtics. You're not going to outmath the Celtics, but you need to at least not have the margin so crazy that they blow you out of the water. And I think Mikal Bridges is the guy to do that. Okay. All right, Kwab, finish the sentence. I'm sure it's going to be short. The Celtics win the series if blank.
If everybody's healthy today, they play their game. I don't know. It's just they're gonna win. They're gonna outmath you. They're gonna do the dance. Like, I can go into detail for the Celtics are gonna do, but they're not they haven't felt like it's a good matchup with the Knicks. Even with the wings you guys have gotten, Jaylen Brown, Jayson, Tatum have been able to get off.
Ew, sorry.
Yeah, I know. Pause. The guards have been able to do what they've been able to do. So, and if Kristaps is healthy, also that's another big factor. That also opens up their offense to a different level. So, yeah, if they're just healthy, I think that's what happens. So, what do you have? Celtics win if
they don't go cold from three. Yeah. Like, the only way, part of the formula, I think one of the biggest parts of the formula for the Knicks winning is if, like, the Celtics just cannot hit the three ball. Like, if they're shooting three after three after three and they're just cold. Yeah. I mean, that's really the only way, and everyone has to stay healthy. But I think that they are such a bad mismatch for the New York Knicks that it's hard for me to even, like, picture them losing the series. I know it sounds crazy. Like, we could break down position by position, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to with the Knicks and Celtics really is the Knicks' inability to guard the pick and pop and pick and roll when Jalen Brunson or Karl-Anthony Towns or both are involved in it.
Or Mikal Bridges, like,
they just can't do it. I mean, from the first game of the season when they got smacked, this has been a problem for the Knicks, and the Celtics are the perfect team to expose it. And also, their bench is better. Peyton Pritchard Deuce McBride's gonna have to give them something as well. But I just can't. Unless the Celtics just cannot hit a shot to save their lives in 4 games, and the Knicks take advantage of that, I don't know. I genuinely don't know how the Knicks win this series, which leads me to our series predictions, Kwab. This is a very short series preview, but it is what it is. What do you have, Kwab?
Celtics in 5. I think the Knicks will get a victory somewhere. I don't know where, somewhere. But, the Knicks might come out, like, not play, try to trap on the pick and roll, might play the best defense, might hit shots, and it could go their way more than one game. I feel like the Knicks will get one game, but I just feel like it's a mismatch with the Celtics, and it's been a mismatch all season.
Yeah, I'm going to go – I really want to go Celtics in 4, man. I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to go Celtics in 5. I'm going to give the Knicks a game. I'm going to give them a game where they, they're hot, and maybe the Celtics are just kind of cold. The Celtics are, like, from time to time, the past few years, they have been known to throw a stinker at home.
Yep.
Against teams that are worse than the Knicks. So it's possible. I don't know. Maybe the Knicks surprise them in game 1 or game 2. But again, I just cannot see it happening. I don't know what schemes Tibbs can come up with to stop what the Celtics have continuously done against the Knicks. On the other side of the ball, I don't think the Knicks are going to have too much problem scoring the basketball. Jalen Brunson's going to have to get going. But again, I said Mikal Bridges, but OG Anunoby's going to have to get going. And they're going to need bench production, man. Deuce McBride cannot shoot the way he's been shooting if the Knicks are going to have any type of success whatsoever. I just think that if you look at every single aspect of the game, the Celtics are just a better team at everything. at everything that the New York Knicks. It's just a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup. As a Knicks fan, I'm not looking forward to it. Like I said, I feel like I'm on the railroad tracks just looking at a train coming in that's about to just run me over. But who knows? I mean, this is why they play the games. This is why they play the games.
Anything can happen. You never know.
Anything can happen.
You never know.
All right, well, listen, if you want to follow Dime, you can everywhere at the Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab, a.k.a. Yes. We will be bringing you game recaps for all the second round, and also stay tuned for our Western Conference semifinals predictions. Some of the series are still going on, so we can't do them. Just is what it is. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you next time for another episode of The Dime. Peace.